Doug, you're out. Yeah, Doug right there. Mike, you're with Jason.
Okay, so what am I doing now?
Free grip Lima.
Okay, for grip Lima.
Under control. I'd like to see one throw from each of you.
Oh, jeez.
Get a grip, go! Fight! Alright?
That's what I did with him when I'm supposed to my exact same thing.
Alright, get grip. Alright, let's do something, Mike.
Whistling forever. I gave it to you there.
There we go, there we go.
That was delightful. That was wonderful fun.
That was wonderful fun. Alright, Jason, you're out. Gene, Doug.
Well, hey
Free grip.
there. We're supposed to do this?
Yep. Whatever grip you want. It's free grip, so fight. Alright, I'm giving that one to Doug because he let go, so we would crush you.
Yeah,
Awful nice of him.
Thank you.
Alright, and again, Gene, I'd like to see one. You go, fight.
There you go. There you go.
There you go, that's it. Alright, very nice. If you get a chance, read through the handbook. I'm going to try by next week or the week after to have the written part of this test, as this will actually get you guys both your first rank. So, but good job. Thank you. Good job, G. Alright, need a drink? No? Good to go? Alright, sweet. Alright, now do we want to pick up on nice stuff where we were last week? Or do we want to touch on something else?
Well, I missed it, so I'd like to see it.
Okay, well then we'll call that a yes. Alright. I think I bring my box. Forget. So I got two different
I'll
gym
give you
bags
the
now.
wood one since I'm not allowed to play with them.
Alright. So last week we talked again about the basics that are always good to practice, which is the slashing techniques, stabbing techniques, you know, here, figure eight, and figure eight upside down. There we've got the straight slashes, remembering vital parts of the body. We've also got vertical here, and then you've got the jab and here through, same thing, up and down. We got figure eights, and then you've got catches and cuts, which is catch and cut is what you need to use for it. Come here, I hit the rib cage, I turn and cut. You know, from here, I come down, I hit the shoulder, I turn and cut. We get used to doing it. Those are things that are easy to practice on your own. You know, we've done that before. You work the basic slashes in front of the mirror, something like that is good to go. So we're moving it, actually using the blade, the stacks, as a grappling tool, as a means of wrestling, which is talked about in a lot of the older writings and whatnot. Did you break your knife?
No.
Oh.
It's starting to go. I'm buying me some aluminum ones so that you guys can.
Alright, so we basically worked on, who remembers what we worked on last week? Okay.
Go to cut me here.
That's good. There we go.
I think I only cut on one side.
That's all right.
When he told me when he here's my, you know, I want to, I was going to take his arm out. So
Yes.
And then I take it, and then
Yep, good to go.
Oh, he also told me that is
Back of the leg, back of the arm. Okay,
That's right.
there we go, that's good. There we go. Alright, Professor Mike, we'll work through some of this again, and I'll let you work with
The thing
Gene,
that I
we'll
liked
work
most
together.
about that was, you see, was when I catch it and I stab him in the arm, and he's not going to cut me anymore.
Probably, yeah, no, that's usually a pretty good reason. I'm less concerned if you can catch it easy and you want to practice that way, that's fine. I generally don't recommend if you come down. I generally don't recommend the grab. Only because if you're going to practice it that way, if it happens, it happens. And I've had it happen before. I've had people take a swing at me with something and I've grabbed it. I've seen other people. But when you practice it and you're always going for it, small point of contact, small point of contact. Which means if he comes fast and I miss, you know, yes, well, I move it. I do the whole parry like we talked about. Rather than blocking and then coming here where he pulls back. As soon as I block, when I come up, he just pulls back. Now, you pull the knife across my arm.
Oh, yeah, like that.
Like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop and strike at the same time. So, pop. Here, here, here. That's the idea. So we're working off some of these same side techniques as what we were doing last week. So we'll go over some of that again so you can work with Gene. You guys have done a lot of this before, but never hurts, always good practice. Okay, so what we're going to start with is, again, we're actually going to go with the diversion, which is not a stop, it's a movement. We're going to come here, here, here. Oh, be that guy in court, okay?
9 seconds.
Again, we're remembering specific points of contact. Armpit,
Armpit.
okay. Femoral artery, jugular. Okay. Yeah. Right?
So what you're doing is you're...
I'm letting this, I'm pushing it out of the way. As it comes down, I'm going to move it out of the way as I step through. Again, he's attacking us with a knife. Odds are you're going to get cut no matter what. So again, we want to be more aggressive. We don't want to play around out here and catch that tip 2-3 times. You're coming down. I'm just going to close the distance here, here.
Or,
Right? You got it. Okay.
Slow.
If Professor Mike's never done any of this, he needs a little bit of...
Both at the same time.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, so... Here.
or in that.
Yeah.
Here.
Yep.
Here.
And there. There you go.
Well, I'm going through like that.
Yes.
And
Well,
away
and
from
you're
it,
going to
or-
step around. What you're going to do
Oh,
here,
step around?
I'll do it with
Okay.
Gene so
Yeah,
you can
let's do
see.
it.
So Gene comes here, I come under,
Okay.
I come here.
Oh, so you're
Either
just,
side of the neck.
you're just going around.
I'm just going around it.
Okay.
There you go. Very nice.
Cool.
Okay, one more time. We'll have Gene do it.
How you gonna do it?
If Jason ever kills anybody with a knife, he is so going to prison.
Yeah, there it is.
I mean, any of us probably are if we got to that point, but Jason, really. There's not going to be much left. No, there's just going to be pieces on the ground. It's going to look like a serial killer got a hold of the guy. With Jason. Bam, 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 bam. Like, the guy attacked me with a knife, so you stabbed him 56 times? Well, it all happened so fast.
Do it on me again.
And remember, you don't need a lot. It's a knife. You don't need a giant sweeping cut to cut with a knife. I mean, it's a knife. You can literally stand out there and watch him bleed to death. You don't need a whole lot.
I'll do it.
That's like a shark.
Serves you right.
I need to send that tip down.
Apparently, a little bit.
But that's the best one is you'll go around. rather
Yep.
than trying to block it.
That's one thing about.
Yeah, rather than trying to block it, and that's the other reason I move around, because you gotta assume that his body's gonna retaliate naturally. Even if he comes through and you get this massive cut
I know.
on the back, you have to assume that arm's at least gonna swing back around just when his body starts coming back around. So we want to keep moving with it. We're gonna come here and come here, and I'm gonna keep moving around his body, watching him so that I can see what he's doing and hopefully where that blade is at.
When you next one,
Right.
you know you got it.
You know you got it.
Yeah. I don't go for a front stand.
Yeah. So they don't hold.
Yeah.
There's enough on there to do it.
You just,
That's good.
Yeah.
Running one or something.
Okay,
actually, you
now we'll do the lock on the arm. Come down here, and come here and lock with the blade, almost like a key lock, using my blade edge as a key lock. Here, cut. I gotta remember what. Oh, that's right. So here we go. Cut. We will cut. Here. Right. You want to walk through it once?
Yeah.
Okay. Here.
Okay. So I'm gonna go like that? No.
You're gonna walk.
Oh yeah, go like
The
that.
flex and go. There we go.
Okay.
So just like you're doing a key lock with the blade.
There we go.
Pull that out.
Like that?
Here. Yep. There. Keep that. Keep that right there.
Okay.
And then
this forearm, yeah. Right, so one more.
here.
Same like that.
There.
Yeah, so I'm kind of using that cap to go
Yep. Well, you're using it just like you would a normal key lock.
Okay.
I'm using it to. I'm gonna ideally, as you come through here, I'm gonna come here, 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 here. I'm gonna take you to the ground, just like I would if I had an arm lock. Just if I had the regular key lock. The only difference is I've got that grip, and I'm just gonna cut through there. Now I'm not really gonna cut my edge blade again. We talked about the same blade. My edge blade is away. You know, here. So ideally, if I hit this right, if I don't, I'm in here. I can turn my blade a little bit though. So when I pull, I'm hitting with my tip and the edge of my blade. It's actually pretty easy to do. Here, here, here.
Oh, there.
But armpit,
Yeah.
center of the collarbone, and that's the thing is to pick your targets. I mean, do you stab the guy? You stab the guy. But ideally,
I'm gonna try.
I hit him here, here, here. Fights over a lot faster than if I hit him here, and it's actually pretty hard. Yeah, I was gonna say it's actually if you hit a bone in this rib cage, it's pretty hard to go through it.
Let me practice one more time, so a little bit more that focus on this,
Okay.
on this hand back stuff.
There we go.
Why?
I still have it.
Remember, keep your back straight, good posture.
It could
You're done.
get rid of those seats up too. Oh, that was not good. That's good. That's good to practice mistakes.
That's right. That's how we figure these things out. We practice here rather than someplace else.
Okay, you want to practice it?
Yeah.
Yeah, go no swap. Oh no, wait, this one.
No, why not?
No, this one. I think you're
No, that's that's fine.
You're gonna push it just like a
castle hole.
Right. Yeah, push it back. I'll try again.
Slice and dice.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I want to go down.
There's a lot of muscle, a lot of bones right in here as well.
Oh yeah. But there's a whole nice series of arteries right in here, so you don't have to puncture the bone when you hit here. You hit here, you're actually trying to slide off the bone, because you're going to sever everything right in there.
And I guess if you got him with
Ooh,
that,
kill us.
that
Oh, yeah.
bad, would it?
Oh no, the next fine, you come through here,
Drop it in that.
here, 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 and then take him to the ground. And you've got that standing figure 4 already, so as he comes, you just go here, here, and then finish taking him to the ground.
You're down.
Hey Vince, how do
Yeah.
you recommend the
Yeah.
general holding of the knife?
Right now we're
Here in
working.
situation.
Right now we're working in underside grip, which is actually a lot more common in European martial arts than anything else. But the best way to hold the blade is still straightforward. I mean, if you're going to fight with a knife, this is still the best way to fight with a knife. Remember, it's about extending your reach and getting a cut. Most of your fighting with the blade will be outside. You know, he comes to strike, I'm moving here, here, here.
Yeah.
In theory, I don't want to get too close to that. If I can finish you without, if you take a swing at me, and I can go here, then I never got to get any closer to that, and I'm pretty happy with that, you know. But from a traditional aspect, the blade was fighting with the dagger was a part of wrestling, was a part of that whole hand-to-hand combat system. And a lot of the old texts show that close-up grip. It was very common in European to come in and to get in and fight in here with knives. You know, so we want to be able to do that too, and that is the key. You have to assume you're fighting with a blade, you're going to get cut. We want to not be afraid of it.
Is that because of armor?
Well, yeah.
You're never gonna slash.
Oh, yeah, and that's just it. Even if you're just wearing chainmail or even heavy leather. I mean, you've
Yeah.
seen real leather armor.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize real leather armor was pretty hard. Most daggers wouldn't pierce if you had a leather plate here. It was hard leather, so it was heat treated, boiled, hammered down. I mean, me and Doug did a test run, or was it me and you, or was it me and, okay, yeah, we did a test run, and I'm not kidding. It was like a chunk of wood when it was done. It's plastic. It's medieval plastic. The resin that's in natural leather, you boil it, you let it cool, you hammer it down, it literally turns into this fibrous, like a medieval fiberglass leather, and it's very hard. Most daggers of the time period wouldn't go through a chunk of leather plate that was sitting on here. It's certainly not going to cut it open. The reason they're getting in close is because you want to get underneath it. When you're fighting in here, I can see where all the holes in any chainmail are, any plate mail, any type of leather padding. I can tell exactly where that strike's going to come from and how to get around it. You know, it's not like a sword. You got a sword and they're wearing leather armor. You take a full swing, you know, with a 3-pound cleaver. You can go through leather armor. You can go through some chainmail armor. Dagger, yeah, a sax, not going to go through it. A sax, a traditional sax was a good pry weapon. Remember, it was a field tool. It wasn't just a weapon. This was like their version. It was a Viking Swiss Army knife. They cooked with it. They hunted with it. They worked it with a tool out in fields, and they took it into battle with them. And if you look at ones, well, like the one I've got, I don't have it out here. I can bring it out here in a little bit. It's like a big pry weapon. So from a close situation, you have this point where you have a large cutting edge, like a cleaver, like a short cleaver that you can do cutting with, but you have this great pry tool that you can get in between chinks of armor or chainmail and pry into it and cut something through.
Also, right when the guys in plate go down and stick the sucker right in and slip the knives.
Oh yeah, you jam them in the eye. I would say, you imagine that Viking helm comes down here, chainmail across the neck, full nose plate, and you come right through, right down the center of that, or in through the throat.
What is this? Was it Harold Bluetooth? They used to say wore a dress with chainmail because he protected his legs.
I think it was one of them. I don't remember if it was Harold or if it was, but yeah. I mean, you see some of the old where they show them wearing longer, because, I mean, again, the two most common places people got hit in battles, especially during the Viking period and early, you know, the heathen-type battle eras, when they've got the shield and sword, or the shield and the axe. You know, and more common was the shield and an axe or a spear. Swords were expensive. You know, any blacksmith could make a spear or an axe. So you had a lot more of them. But the problem is the way they use them in the fall, they're pretty well covered. You put a helmet on him, chainmail with padding and a heavy wool tunic, and then you give him this flexible wood shield that you can't tell where the grain's going. You put an axe in his hand. You pretty much limited what you can attack and do damage with. 80% of the battle wounds that they've managed to identify from these battles are all legs and neck. And a lot of the old illustrations that even come later from the 12th and 13th century are the same thing when they're looking at sword and shield. You've got this shield and you're manipulating the sword and shield so that you can come down, bang, hit the legs, and then take the neck underneath the helmet line. So yeah, supposedly it was either Harold the Bluetooth or it was Edward Longshanks, I don't remember. But one of the old Viking kings, Edward Longshanks wasn't a Viking king. But one of the old Viking kings, yeah, apparently wore an extra long chainmail tunic to protect his knees and legs when he went into battle. Which I don't think helped him. Didn't he die from an arrow or something like that? Like right through his eye or something. I don't remember. I gotta look. I don't think it was Harold the Bluetooth. I think I know who it was. I just can't remember his name in my head. But yeah. So primarily, ancestrally, it was probably more of a grappling weapon. But that doesn't mean you don't use it from a distance. And obviously, during the Renaissance era, it's going to become much more of an outside weapon, where you've got people who aren't wearing armor. You know, they're just wearing clothes. And so now, and you have a better quality, in some parts of the country, a better quality blade. Now it is realistic to stand out here and get a cut with them. And so now you have this interpretation of outside techniques combined with inside techniques. And so, but today we're working on inside techniques. Sorry about that, I kind of rambled off again. Go ahead. You, that was a distraction.
No, I just it popped in my head. What else to work on?
Okay. So then, did you guys get to work on that?
Yeah, we did both. We did the
Okay, you did both? Okay. So let's work on, we did also the short, quick, the inside. We're not moving around them. We're going to do short, fast, stay inside. So strike comes down again. I'm from here, pop. Cut here. Here, I'm staying right to the inside. I'm going to be fast and quick. So right there, you come down, I'm going to pop, pop, pop. And it's a good hit and block. We're going to move it and disable it. Cut at the neck, or at the neck here. We'll pop, pop, inside the thigh. Gotcha. And I'm just going to watch my distancing. So we want 2, 3 at the most. Quick, good spots. Good spot, good spot, good spot, good spot. All from the front where we can pop. That's 1. Yep. That's too many. The pop is 1. So this is 1. So I don't want to be. We don't want to be Jason. Jason's had a lot of practice. This is a really good example. Jason's had a lot of practice. If Jason feels comfortable stabbing and cutting Doug 20 times before he steps out of Doug's range, that's Jason's choice. In the beginning, we want 1, 2, 3. So see, after this 1, everything we're doing is moving outside of that range.
Right.
Whether it's straight back or off to the side. I actually prefer off to the side, like where Gene's at. So I go pop, pop, pop. I get this open here. If you come swinging through, I can keep going.
Right.
So we don't want to truckload a distance. We want to come in, hit, 1, 2, and then move outside or around. Okay?
Pop. Pop.
Same shoulder as the arm you're stopping. Same shoulder. We want to disable the arm with the knife. In the beginning, I don't care about the arm that doesn't have a knife. I care about the arm that has a knife.
Either way.
Cool.
You can't put it
No, you gotta go the wrong way.
Turn off the shoulders, dude. Take it in. Now you can do. I'm gonna try back to anyways. There you go.
You don't want to make the wife mad.
Those turn off the throat. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah,
I see.
See? Because even if it's not stuck in there.
Right.
It's so exciting you want to jump. We're outside. You just got me. Take that out.
depending on where you're in, you just,
Especially going.
whatever you want to
Yeah.
go from there. Yeah, wherever you want to go. See what's.
Oh, yeah, there goes the house.
Sam. Here, you got this, it's shit all the way in.
And the inside of my back, same time.
Gonna go.
Just get it forward. And then, just gonna go here for once.
That's not too good.
Back there.
Right.
You know, but when I control the back, it makes me, you know what I mean? Boom. So that's, you can do
Right
that.
inside your body.
Good, man.
I think that's pretty good. I like that one. I like that. Because I like this whole area, because once once you hit me here,
No matter what.
Yeah.
at one time, I realize the potential for this.
Yes.
I'm kind of focusing on that.
Let's get
And it's a great spot, and it's not a spot that people commonly think about.
They wouldn't guard it, they wouldn't block it.
Yeah.
It's big.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's hard to miss.
Yeah.
That's like a little hidden secret, man.
Yes.
And when you turn,
So if you catch someone like that, actually it's just freaking good.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're
Yeah.
just for the
The whole artery, the whole major artery right through there.
you know, so it'd be like.
And it's not very deep either. It's only like an inch and a half on the top of the skin. So again, it's not like you need, 7 inches to cut somebody. You can hurt somebody with a Swiss Army knife. Yeah.
You know, let's wax that first one. You said you remember.
Yeah.
Remember the first one where
Yeah.
you do it to me. Remember?
The same inside, you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Boom. See, she goes.
That's right. That's right. Was it like that? Like that. And then a second one.
Yeah.
Go ahead. See, down in there?
Right.
I kind of like the.
Go ahead, just
Turn it.
cut that shoulder off, basically.
Right.
This one here.
Yeah, that one's cool.
There you go.
Yeah, I like that. That position you can throw.
Yeah.
Here, pull it, pick this leg up right there. Yep. Just hook that blade right inside there, pick it up.
Put the other one at the very section.
Remember that was one we go around.
All right, I'll keep going along. I got this part here.
Like here. Wait a minute, I'm attacking. We can shorten it up even more.
Back to that one again, so I can.
We'll go over these guys here in a second. From that strike come through, the same pop. Right, come here. Pop. Only this time, I'm going to come here. I'm going to take this out and right across the throat one shot. Pop. That's real simple and clean. So come here, pop. In just 2 motions. So as you come down, I'm going to go 1, 2. That second one doesn't have to be there. I can go here, here. And wherever you want that second one to be, I'm going to take here, here.
So,
Or you can take a solid cut. You okay?
Yeah.
As it comes through, I go here, and then just take it down across the chest. Not the best place. I mean, you're not going to get maximum damage,
On there.
but 24 inches of open wound across the front of his chest with the neck bleeding.
whatever you want to do.
So you come and doing the 2 things you're doing with this, then, and hold
Yep.
it
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
You know, and
See where it is from there?
Sure, whatever. There you go.
I don't even have to.
yeah, I'm kind of thinking about getting rid of that blade, that whole theory about
Yeah.
popping it and then getting away from
And then getting away from that
and
blade.
getting the slice in while you're getting out.
This.
That's it. We take the tip anywhere we can get it.
It depends on like.
I'll take that. I don't care.
It's gonna suck.
If I can get that, even better. I'm okay with that. If I can't get that, if I go here and he moves his head, fine, I'll take that. I don't care.
From there.
Good. Tricep.
Hit the throat.
Do real slow. Oh, there it is. So use that. I go real slow.
There.
Actually,
You hop me in the neck and then run that direction with the
Need longer arms. So that's it.
Yeah. No, most people are either going to be right here.
Yeah, what did you do with this?
That's right. And ideally, if you carry, that's what I see. Guy going, I'm going to cut you! Boom! No, you're not. And it's done, you know. There is not a respectable Viking in the world in the medieval times if a guy was standing in front of him with a knife going, I'm going to kill you! And he had a sword, he would have pulled his sword and chopped him up. That's what you did.
Better than you ever just...
Yes.
Let's say you don't have a blade.
Okay?
I might come up to you and say, I remember that one. I remember that. Wasn't that the first month I was here?
Yeah.
But was it like that?
Yeah.
This kind of a deal?
Now, see, you're doing it, yeah, ideally if it's up higher, you know, up here,
Yeah.
we can come up, we get into that, to our passive fighting stance.
Yeah, don't hurt me.
Yeah, don't hurt me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that same ridge here
Yep.
and here as hard as I can, holding those hands up.
I remember practicing that in here and I wasn't all that great.
This can even work.
Now, when you're lower, I'm kind of cheating it.
Okay.
You know, when you're lower, I'm kind of cheating it and
There's
I'm
that
going
there.
here.
Okay, I think I can take about one more of those.
Yes. Well, ideally, now if it's low and you're threatening me or coming at me, one thing you can do is here. We talked about this, and remember we talked about manipulating that muscle?
You know, I don't
There's my muscle manipulation.
I cut. Back down.
See the outside?
don't remember the muscle.
Okay, so we've got here, not here. We don't want to be pushing and fighting for this blade. So I'm going to come here, and I'm going to wrap and wrap. And now, just like when I'm striking here, which you can do,
You could do that.
pop,
Yeah, you could just do that.
I'm actually going to twist. That gives me my bend. Doug.
Very persuasive.
So if Doug's threatening me from a lower position, forward, threatening me from a lower, and he's threatening for coming forward, I'm coming here, and rather than doing this so that I'm fighting with Doug, and again, so now I've eliminated my two weapons to keep this, which, if that's what I've got, that's what I've got. If this is where I end up, Doug will pummel the crap out of my head, and I don't care, I'm going to take that blade out of his hand before I worry about anything else. Because that will make me cry. That will make me die. Okay? But if Doug's threatening or coming forward here, rather than doing this, I'm going to come here, I'm going to twist, and there's my control. You get a really tough guy, Doug comes at me hard, here, here.
There it is.
And it is. I stop, and then again, dig those knuckles, just like that jab with the knuckle, right inside that muscle. Just enough. I mean, I'm not necessarily trying to get him to drop, I just want him to not think about being strong. Pop, and there. Which do we want to work on some takeaways? Sweet.
Is it this direction or is it that direction? No, this one.
There we go. There.
Off that view.
There we go. So as Gene comes up,
I
here,
guess we're going in.
here, and lift. Okay. Alright. Yeah, let's do some takeaways. We'll start with some basics. Alright, Doug. So we've got the threat to the face, which is what we were just showing. We'll work on that. That's easy. Threat to the face here. So right there, again, I'm in my passive fighting stance. what I'm going to do is in one swift, very hard move, my hands stay close. They're not out like this. I'm going to get here and here, just like that. And that second strike can be anything. Once you get rid of it, but I want that second strike. Here, it can be an uppercut, cross, hammer fist, I don't care. It doesn't even have to be there. You know, pop, 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 take him to the ground.